Hi, this is Joseph Roevens for the second part on the change management tutorial and clip. Here is the model that Robin Rowley and I created in 1997. Simply put, it's a model that has two dimensions, you could say. One is chaos and the other one is control. And we also figured out four scenarios: enhance, perturb, attract, excite. And then we say that managers have a tendency to balance between control and chaos, whereas actually they should go through perturb, attract to get a transformation of the company and get back here. So it is a model that sees change as a continuous dynamic process. If it's done well, then it can be seen as continuously moving up and up in the better direction. But it can also go downwards very quickly. A brief comment about models. A model is an idealized representation of reality. Or sometimes a model is a way of looking at things. So we're not suggesting that this is reality, that this is a picture of reality. We're suggesting that when you look at change processes as a manager and you look at it through this particular change lens, then you can see certain things. You can see activities happening. You can understand connections. You can try to and also understand why one thing could lead to something else. You can place activities and inactivities in a sort of change plan. Well, I'll get very practical and concrete in a moment. We've baptized it Proteus, and this is a reference to the Greek god of change, or actually it may be the Latin translation of that with the Eos here. For now, there's two things I want you to understand from the model. One is control. What I mean by control is everything you can control. What that is, well, let's take a simple example. I want to go and record this video. Control means taking the elevator to the video room, getting the key of the video room, turning on the material, having the right programs ready. That's control. There are certain things in life we can control. There are certain things in life we can do. If I would stay in my seat downstairs, it's impossible I can record a video. So I have to come over here. I've got to do something. But there's also chaos. Chaos means the unpredictable, and very often also in a negative sense. I can come to the video room, I can turn on the system, and then there's suddenly a bug or a crash, and I cannot record the video anymore. So it's great that I did all this planning, but eventually I'll just have to be here and hope that things work. Now, when you look at life, a lot of things that we control lead to good results. I mean, let's take airplanes. Well, thank God, still the majority of airplanes arrives at their destination safely with everybody still on board in one piece. Because, it's tightly controlled, there's engineering, there's radars, all that safety things, and the plane gets there. But once in a while, the unexpected, the unpredictable happens. Sometimes in a negative sense, sometimes in a positive sense. Yeah, because of the unpredictable, an airplane can also arrive somewhere maybe half hour early, which could be, a nice coincidence. And just wanted to say that life is always about the two. Always. Always. When I drive home tonight, most likely I will get there and I will see my wife and daughter. But it's not sure. They may be gone, or something nasty may have happened, or something great may have happened. They may have gained the lottery and they went shopping. I don't know. But we often forget that in all these things we control, there's always this part. And it doesn't necessarily imply more control. It actually implies learning to live more with this, leaving this window open so that you don't get scared when this happens. And there are ways to guide you through it. But let's take it now step by step. In this presentation, I only talk about the enhanced scenario, which is safely at the control side of things. One of the reasons for that is that, well, yes, because it is controllable, it's actually something I can teach. Once this kicks in, well, you'll kind of have to go through it to see what happens and to see what you can do. Also, a second reason is, if you want to find out more about these things, then buy our book, Organize with Chaos, or download it for free from my own website, The Essential Organize with Chaos, and then, work with this change lens. Off we go. Enhance the first scenario. Zap. What's the purpose of this scenario? Well, you are going to create some steps, actions, and they enhance change. Enhance means that it promotes change, it can help change to happen. These steps also help you to align the purpose, because yes, in business organizations or also non-profit organizations, you must have a simple purpose, simple purpose. I mean, if you're running a refugee camp, for example, your purpose is to have these people safe and well fed and taken care of, and all this running efficiently. You're not also selling products. Yeah? So to align the purpose, to get commitment, and it's based on the premises of participative managing. I have created other video clips on participative managing, but the basic idea is for a company to change effectively in the 21st century, there needs to be some sort of participation, some sort of corporate democracy, some sort of intrapreneurship. If not, you have these stale organizations which still exist, but then watch another video. Nice picture aligning the purpose. It's a lot simpler for a rowing team. I mean, it's just like 4 people aligning, but it's a very beautiful picture, metaphor that people should keep in mind about their organization. Are we all going in the same direction? With change management, and this model is written especially, or this change lens especially for top down, for people at the top, and at the same time for anybody in the organization, because you always have a specific power. But in the beginning, when you start change, ask yourself, what is my mandate? What is my power base? Simply put, if I am the owner of my own company, then I can do anything I want as long as it's legal. If I am a CEO and there's a bunch of shareholders who are the owners and they tell me what to do, I have to check with them what sort of change I can do. Because if not, If the company goes badly, I'm one of the first ones to go. Another example is if I am the human resources manager of an organization, then I can probably do something with influencing people. But again, I am not the CEO, so always check what is possible and what is not possible. This is very important because time and again, I have met, or we have met, people in organizations that either exaggerated their own power. You know, it's like an intern saying, I'm going to change this whole company. I mean, wonderful idea, but often impossible and arrogant. Or consultant saying, oh, I know how to run your business. No, you don't. You're a consultant. You're not me with, my years of experience here. So make sure what your mandate really is. And this is a bit of a joke, of course, so that you will never forget. But know how many people are supporting me? 48%. So what can I do? 48%. Second thing in your change management system is to align the payment and reward systems with the objectives of participation and overall company performance. Simply put, people will do what they get rewarded for, officially or unofficially. You can talk about sharing and win-win and participation, but if your rewarding system is competitive, people will compete. That's the way it is. And time and again, we have noticed organizations who missed this initial step. They're doing all sorts of funky change management thingies, but they forget this. One example. Company doesn't exist anymore, so I can freely talk about it. Westerlund Corporation. In the late 90s, Jean-Jacques Westerlund, CEO, asked us to help him with the change. And he said, literally, I've got these 3 top managers, logistics, sales, and finance. And I've been telling them for the last 5 years, please guys, cooperate, get together. We're one company, we're one family, we have the same goal. All that beautiful talk. But these guys compete with each other. How come they don't listen to me? Well, simply put, and we checked it, the payment and reward system made them behave differently. I'll give you an example. The sales manager received a fixed salary and a big bonus based on sales. So what was he doing? He was selling. And when he was selling, he sometimes made promises which would make it difficult for the logistics manager to comply with. Because the sales manager would sell a contract which said it required, shipping to be done on weekends. Then it gets to the logistics manager and he says, weekends, I need 20 more dockers, 20 more guys on the quay to unload the ship. That costs a lot of money. I cannot do it within the financial constraints that you're giving me. But again, the sales manager had no incentive for that. That was not his problem. That was the logistics manager's problem. But the logistics manager's problem, he received a salary with a bonus based on how cost efficient he was. So he was continuously thinking about, how can I do this so well that I don't need more people, we don't need to pay for more people than we need and all that. And then he gets faced with a contract he has to fulfill, and it makes it hard for him to reduce costs, therefore earn his bonus. But he was paid that way. And then the finance manager, well, you couldn't really ask him for money because he was continuously investing a big part of the company's money into stocks, into the stock market, because that's where it was, getting the highest rate of return, and his bonus was based on getting nice return for their money. Luckily, when Jean-Jacques saw this, when Mr. Westerlund saw this, he said, of course, I gotta change the system. So we changed the system so that then the bonus was based on overall company performance and also participation. Participation was measured by the times that these people were meeting, but also how the communication was going. A result from this new policy was also that the sales manager actually decided to leave for a competitor. But okay, this is what can happen with change. Here's a small example of a reward chart. I'm not saying you should always treat kids this way, but it works in class and it works with adults. You cannot do change alone. I mean, sure, you can do change alone, but then it's like a dictator. Nowadays, in organizations, participation makes sense. So map, select, and recruit suitable strategic change ambassadors. Get people to work on the change with you. We suggest it's about 10 to 15% of your organization. Preferably cross-section, preferably different age categories. Get them together and let them be sort of the first tier of people helping you with the change. That's just to give you a number. You can do it differently, but this would be a suggestion. How do you select those people? There's many ways. We really like Peter Block's approach. And he wrote many books. One of them is Flawless Consulting. And there's Peter Block's model. It's sort of zapped away. I'm going to put it back. So unfortunately, I cannot stop it. But here I use this model with pictures. What does Peter Block say? Inside your organization, you have sort of 5 categories of people. Let's start with you two. Well, no, I'm not going to start with them. You'll have to read the book. Thank you for paying attention.